In this week's Torah reading of Vayechi, there's a huge gap in the flow of the story. Our patriarch Yaakov is in his deathbed, and he says to his sons, "Gather, and I will tell you what's going to happen to you at the end of days." That means that Yaakov is about to tell his children God's plan and date for the final return to Israel, the coming of the Mashiach, that's the Messiah, and the redemption of the entire world. That's pretty useful information, so what does he say? Yaakov proceeds to bless each child and say nothing about the end of days. So why does he say he's going to tell them about the end of days and then he doesn't? What's that about? The answer is that Yaakov Avinu was a prophet and had a clear vision of what's going to be, and he wanted to reveal that to his children. At that moment, God took away his prophecy in order to keep the date of the redemption a secret. The famous 17th century commentator, the Yaakov, explains that had the Jews known the date of the final redemption, they wouldn't have prayed for it as long as it's far off. And God wants the Jews to yearn for the return. So therefore, God endeavored to keep it a secret. The Yaakov laments and says that now that we don't know the day of the redemption, still the Jews don't really yearn to be brought to Israel. The quote that I'm about to read to you may be hazardous to your health, so proceed according to physicians' guidelines. I quote from the Yaakov. Rabim hema amei haaretz hamityashvim b'artzot ha'amim. There are many uneducated Jews disconnected from Torah who dwell in the diaspora. Ubonim lehem batim sfunim v'chashuvim v'shel avanim binyan ha'kiyum. And they build for themselves large, impressive homes out of stone, permanent structures. Ubesiba zu leolam einam dorshim et pnei Hashem b'chol lev lehaviam el artzam. And because of this, because of these mansions, they don't really petition God for the return to Israel with all of their heart. Valkein HaKadosh Baruch Hu minicham shama. And therefore God leaves them in the diaspora. So let's sum up. God is saying, you made yourselves comfortable there? Then stay there. But is the Yaakov really suggesting that a Torah true Jew take up residence on the streets of San Francisco with the homeless to show that he's waiting for the return to Zion? That's an exaggeration. And let's not get into the size or the price or the types of homes that Jews have here. Rather, let's focus on the message. The Yaakov is introducing us to a Torah concept from this week's reading that a Jew is to live with constant and real anticipation for the return to Zion. A Torah true Jew is to live in the diaspora in a temporary mindset, a frame of mind that he's temporary here. And the moment the opportunity presents itself, he's to turn to the diaspora, say thank you and goodbye, and pack his bags without hesitation and return to the land of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Shabbat Shalom from Beit El.